Okay, so we're just gonna talk for a while. Look directly.
At the camera,
into the-
okay. This is weird.
Nah, it'll be fine because I'll sort of scooch down so you can
Okay.
look at me. All right, so tell me how have you been doing? What's been going on?
We've been doing well. We had a nice long break, but unfortunately, with various power outages and illness, it wasn't quite the time off we'd hoped for.
All right, hang on. I'm gonna. Well, yeah.
Ian's not here, so.
All right, so what's going on? What are you doing today?
Today, I'm at work and thrilled to be here. I love working for the state of Arkansas.
I can tell you're entirely sincere. So, tell me about your Christmas.
Well, Chris.
Actually, before that,
Right.
tell me about getting ready for Christmas.
Okay. Well, Mark took off, my husband took off the whole week before, even though our son, who's in high school, had to go. So we were supposed to be painting and getting some things done, and we were doing pretty well until there was the Thursday before Christmas. There was a big windstorm, and we lost power. And it was really disappointing since we have this power roller, and without power, you can't use a power roller. So while we had everything primed and ready to go, we couldn't paint. Power was off from 7 a.m. until 3 the next morning. So it wasn't bad as far as,
Hang on just
okay.
a second.
You getting bad noise again?
Okay, so so we'll just have a conversation. I'll talk
Yeah.
to you, you talk to me. Try to look directly into the camera. And if I ask you a question, just try to kind of rephrase it in your own words so that
Because you'll splice that out.
I will cut myself out.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So, first of all, I want to know, we're going to go back. We're going to go to Halloween. I want to know how Halloween was here. Did you have to work the Halloween?
God, I don't remember. No, I didn't work Halloween.
That's good.
No,
You didn't have to do the whole boozy.
no, I never do. No,
Okay.
no. There's a bunch of people outside. Look like kids. This could get noisy.
Okay. Say something else.
No, I didn't. I didn't have to work for the Halloween thing. I planned it, so I was off those couple days.
And how was your Thanksgiving?
Thanksgiving. It was okay. We had my in-laws over. We were hoping my in-laws would go up to see Mark's sister and we could just have quiet Thanksgiving at home. But then we weren't sure what they were doing, so we invited them over. But it was very low-key.
That's nice.
Made a turkey. Yeah,
Very
pretty
nice.
simple.
All right. So
Wait. Big crowd.
Of course, the day that there's a tour, it's January. There's no tours.
They said, I think they said, we're just dropping by. Do you want to shut, if Dave's gone, you could shut the door. Do you want me to shut the door? Well,
We'll turn this off.
okay. She's filming me.
Okay, so you had a low-key Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. So tell me about, did you do a lot of Christmas shopping this year?
Christmas shopping, I didn't, well, I mean, I've got gifts for next year now. So I'm the type who, I'm always buying stuff. We got Cayman his gift months ahead. Didn't do a lot of shop. I mean, I had most things done. I'm still not done with my holiday cards, but I figure I got a good excuse for that at this point. Too much noise? Let's just shut for a few minutes.
Okay, so you're the kind of person that Christmas shops all year long.
I pretty much Christmas shop all year long. I'm always looking for gifts and pick them up, and I have a shelf in my closet, and there's gifts there for all kinds. I have a confirmation for my niece who won't get it for 5 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
A James Avery bracelet.
That's very nice. All right, so what all did you get the family this year for Christmas? What were some of the best Christmas presents?
Since we took up scuba last year as a family, we decided to get Cayman his own dive computer watch, which, they're a couple $300, and so that was sort of a major gift for him. The problem was Mark had already gotten one that's orange, and we would like to have them different colors, but they don't make them different colors. Well, the dive store had one on a mannequin is part of the equipment. So we had them take it off and we put it away for him. So his is yellow so that we can tell them apart. And that's what Mark wanted, was a dive computer. Oh, is open. It was unlocked.
Oh, okay.
We were getting to, you can leave it open now, that tour was loud.
Now the what?
That tour went by.
Oh, okay. I didn't hear him, didn't see him.
Oh, you missed them. So Cayman got a dive computer. He also got a Nexus, but that makes him sound spoiled, so.
Yeah. Only child, he deserves it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so talk to me about what was Christmas like when you were growing up? Because you're from Wisconsin, right?
Mm-hmm. Christmas when I was growing up, excuse me, well, we always hope for snow because that made it fun. We would go to Christmas Eve service. I remember one time Santa came while we were, I think, watching TV. My mom heard noises and was shocked that I didn't hear noises. And Santa left everything out in the garage. I lived in a small town, so I had both my grandparents, both sets, so we would go over to one on one day and one on the other. But no major, this is what we do. It seemed it was always sort of in flux.
So what was a white Christmas like in Wisconsin?
It was good. It was always good. Making snowmen and snow angels and snow tunnels. And I remember my husband, who grew up in the South, we were watching the show Northern Exposure one time, where a character is walking across a snowfield, and all of a sudden, he's on top of the crusty ice, or the crusty snow, and all of a sudden one of his legs falls through up to his crotch. And I turned to my husband, I was like, "You don't know what that's like, do you?" He's like, "No." Because he would have fallen maybe, an inch in, not 3 feet in, and all of a sudden there you are, stuck in the snow.
Okay, so we're talking like, what's the most amount of snowfall you can remember as a child?
Well, as a kid, the snow seems bigger, and of course when they come and plow the driveway, they'll make big banks, so you might have an 8-foot bank of snow to play in your yard. I don't know, couple feet, probably a couple good feet of snow. I mean, it seemed like more than that, but.
Okay, so tell me about this Christmas. What made this Christmas different than most?
Well, we got snow, and that was exciting. It was beautiful, and it was a lot. Most snow I'd ever seen since I lived in the South. But unfortunately, we weren't able to enjoy it because we were freezing in our home and had no internet. And, it sort of takes the fun out of it when you look out and you're cold.
Well, so what exactly happened? Tell me your Christmas day
I'm sorry.
from morning until night.
Okay, Christmas Day started, since I have a 14-year-old, we don't get up at the crack of dawn. My sister-in-law called, they were up at 5:30 with their little kids, but our day probably started about 9 when my teenager got up. And we exchanged gifts, and I don't remember. We were just chilling, hanging out. We didn't have any plans. I put the turkey in at noon. We were going to have a simple turkey. I already had stuffing left over from before, from Thanksgiving. So I put the turkey in at noon to be ready for dinner. And about 4:30, the power went out. And, well, I guess it started icing. Maybe about 2, it started raining and ice, which concerned me, but, you know, what do you do? And then at 4:30, the power went out.
Hold on just
Yep.
1 second. Okay, so we're gonna go back to, it starts raining, freezing rain about 2, you said.
Okay, right. So I think it was about 2, it was raining, freezing rain. You know, being in the South, you always worry about the trees. You know, I don't know, up north, I don't remember trees being in danger like they are down here. So I was getting a little bit worried about power. You know, you sort of get this feeling like, I hope it doesn't go out, especially since we had lost power the week before for that one day during the windstorm. But, you know, you just hope. But then at 4:30, everything went out. And, you know, you sort of got a bad feeling that things aren't going to be good. And I left the bird in the oven for probably another hour, thinking maybe the residual heat, it would cook. But finally, probably about 6, I looked at it and it had cooled off. I was also hoping maybe it was done. And it wasn't. And so we took it out of the oven. I put foil over it. We put the roaster top on. Mark bungeed it down. And then we put it out on the deck since it was colder outside than would be in our refrigerator, especially with no power.
So you froze your turkey outside?
I froze my turkey outside. I put my turkey outside. Well, see, in Wisconsin, we use the outside as a refrigerator, freezer in the winter. You know, I know the first time Mark went up to Wisconsin with me, he was shocked that he went out in the garage and there's, you know, dinner on the car in the garage, you know, in various containers because it's cold out in the garage. So I'm used to put things outside.
And your 2 large puppies didn't get interested in the turkey?
No, I was worried something might come up because we have a big wooded area, but of course they'd have to come into our fenced yard and up the deck, which, as it turned out, one of the stairs had gotten cracked, so one of the steps was up while Mark fixed it. So, and then there's a gate on either end to keep our dogs from going up and down. So it would have been hard for an animal to get up in my turkey, but it really made me sick that, you know, this $20 turkey is sitting outside stuffed, because if it hadn't been stuffed, we might have put it on the grill or on the smoker, but it was stuffed. And I thought, you know, what are you gonna do? And it was frustrating because our stove worked. I mean, it was nice to have a stove working because we ate pretty well without power. We had French toast, we had grilled sandwiches, but we couldn't do the turkey.
Okay, so what did Christmas dinner wind up being?
Oh shoot, I don't even remember what we ate for Christmas dinner. I think we had bologna sandwiches actually.
Nice. So how long were you without power?
We were without power that time from 4:30, I think officially 4:39 p.m. on Christmas Day until Thursday at 6:30 p.m. So 50 hours. And the funny thing was it came on right when we had heard it could be Tuesday before we got power. It was Thursday at that point. So while we were sitting there thinking, holy crap, we might have to make it how many more days? And all of a sudden the power came on.
So what did you do? How did you cope with the freezing temperatures and no electricity?
The way we coped We're lucky. We've got a really nice big stone fireplace. We have plenty of wood, so we kept the fire going 24/7. We are also lucky that we have gas water heater. So we had hot water, which, you know, having a hot shower makes all the difference, at least for us. You know, you can get clean. I couldn't do laundry, of course, but we could shower. We also had the stove, so we didn't have to break out, you know, camp provisions or anything like that. So we had the stove, we had hot water, you know, we could do dishes. You know, we took what was in the dishwasher out and washed it. You know, living without a dishwasher is no big deal. I was really getting wash machine withdrawal. We have flannel sheets. We keep our house sort of cool, especially at night. So sleeping wasn't really a problem with our flannel sheets and quilts. None of us had a problem with that. The family room where the fireplace is was okay. I mean, it was cold, but you know, as soon as you walked out of there to the kitchen, it would sort of hit you how cold it was in the house. You know, the house, I know the last day, and that's the problem too, you know, the first day, there's still residual heat in the house. We have all new windows, all new doors, so our house is really well insulated. We have extra insulation in the attic. So we kept the heat, but by the second day, it was just cold. I mean, it's getting cold. I think right before the power came on, Mark had said that it was 31 outside and 51 in. So, you know, it's not like we were in Bastogne or something like that, but it's cold.
Well, what in your experience, how do you think that the way that the companies here in the South responded to the winter storm as opposed to, you know, up in Wisconsin where it's sort of commonplace, they've got a plan?
Yeah, it's weird, the response, you know, it was definitely a culture shock thing to come south, and they interview the road crews the day before there's supposed to be snow. I mean, we don't do that up north, you know. You know, calling school before there's anything because there might be snow. It's just very different. I don't know, I kept thinking, I don't remember ever losing power up north in the winter. You know, it's never happened. I guess because it can't happen. You know, people will die up there. You know, we weren't in danger of dying, obviously. We were going to be cold, but we weren't going to die. I guess I thought the response was pretty good overall, but more after the fact. I don't think there was much preventative done. You know, they knew the storm was coming. They had an idea how bad it was going to be. You know, they had the thing the week before where we lost power in the windstorm. So that, to me, should have indicated what kind of dangers there were. And the weird thing was, in our neighborhood, it goes off in different sections. My neighborhood's about 500 homes in a very spread out area with one access point. And when you first come into the neighborhood, they had power. I think they only lost for maybe part of a day. Then a big middle section of us were without for 2 days. But then either extreme end were without for pretty much 5 or 6 days. And that's just, it's strange the way things are, and I don't know why.
Okay, do you think that the combination of the ice and the snow did something? Do you think there was enough ice to really do much? Do you get that up north? I mean, you don't get much.
I don't know that we get that much ice up north. I mean, I think about that, and I don't know what the difference is. I don't know if it's because temperatures here stay right around the freezing. You know, up north, it'll get to 20 below. You know, it gets too cold to snow up there. You know, I think the problem here was Little Rock obviously got hit the hardest, since some of the outlying areas didn't get hit at all, or not as bad, but I think we had maybe a good 1/4 to 1/2 inch coat of ice first. Then we had, I think, a foot of snow. My husband said 8 inches, but you know, when you looked at different areas, there was a lot of snow. And it came in from the north. We live up on a ridge, and our front windows, the ones that don't have the overhang, were just coated. So you could tell the way it blew in. And it was just really hard. When you get all the trees going down, up north, trees don't go down unless there's a tornado or a freak windstorm. Trees don't go down in the winter, from what I've seen.
Okay. All right, great. Well, thank you.
Wait, there's more.
There's more.
Yeah.
Tell me more.
Ask me about the emotional impact of it.
All right, how did the winter storm here in central Arkansas emotionally impact you?
It's funny the emotional impact the storm has on you because, on one hand, it sort of brings you together. My son couldn't disappear down to play on his computer, so, we played games in front of the fire. We had a lot of cocoa with amaretto. Well, not my teenager, but so in a way it's sort of fun, but you just want to know when it's going to end. You just want to know, when are we going to get power back? For us, it was 2 days. Unfortunately, we didn't have internet for a week, which was a challenge at our house because we all have computer stuff and live on our computers and stream TV. So we had no TV, not that we cared too much about that, but just for amusement. But it was funny how since the power outage, and not that, I would ever fully appreciate what like the Eagle, who are they? The Band of Brothers. Now I'm getting all nervous. Not that I could ever fully relate to, like the Band of Brothers episode where they're in Bastogne, what the real 101st Airborne went through at the Battle of the Bulge and how cold it was there. But I noticed after the power outage what hair trigger sensitivity I had to the cold. We normally have the house get cooler during the day, but after this, it was like if it dropped a few degrees, I was cranking it up. And I tell Mark, I was like, I'm cold. He's like, turn up the heat. And part of it is you're thinking, well, just in case we lose it again, let's get it cranked. But funny thing was, Thursday we got power, so did a friend of mine. And Saturday we came down here to the Robinson Auditorium to see a concert. And it was cold in there. And she and I both were like, we can't handle this, it's cold again. And it's like you just flash back to being cold and how it does mess with you. There's an emotional element of just that cold that was surprising. I didn't expect.
All right.
How's
great.
that?
That was perfect.
Okay.
All right, well, I think we're good to go. What I need you to do is try to look kind of in towards the camera.
Okay.
And whenever I ask you a question, we're just gonna talk.
Okay.
Just gonna have a conversation. But if you'll kind of repeat what I ask you, so that I can cut myself out of it.
Okay.
So tell me about your Christmas.
Christmas was fine until about 3 o'clock when the weather started changing. And I left home and went by my son to bring my grandkids their Christmas stuff. And I could see it was really turning bad. They had a bad accident on 630 right there by Children's. So when I got over by my son, I didn't stay as long as I had planned because I knew the weather was getting bad. So I left about 5 coming back home, and no lights when I got there.
All right, hang on just a second. I'm just gonna close that door. Okay, so you went to your kids to give the grandkids the Christmas presents.
Yeah.
And then you started to come back because of the weather.
Yeah. It was getting real bad by then. The ice was falling pretty heavy. So I noticed when I got on Stagecoach, right before I got to the house, there were a couple of cars in ditches already. And I turned into by my place and saw a tree down. I said, uh-oh. So when I went on in and got inside my apartment, there was no lights.
Well, and you've got a nice brand new car. I'm sure you didn't want to take much of a chance with that on the roads.
No, I didn't. So I packed up a few things and headed to the closest hotel I could find.
So when you packed, did you pack for, like a night? What'd you think was going to happen?
I took all my medicine I needed and just a couple of change of clothes, a couple of underwear, sets of underwear, and my oxygen because I had to use oxygen at night. And that was the main reason why I left. Because I didn't think it would be back on before the morning, so I had to have my oxygen at night.
So with your health conditions, how would being in the house without power, how would that affect?
It would affect my breathing. If I'm up 24 hours a day without oxygen recharging my system, well, I'll run down. My breathing would be in bad shape.
Okay. And so you chose the hotel over going to the family's house.
Oh yeah, I love my grandchildren, but not that much.
How many grandkids do you have?
4 at the house, all little girls.
So the option of staying at the house with 4 little girls was not as exciting as.
No, I love them, but I love to go pick them up and take them out to eat and stuff. And when I get ready to bring them home.
So how long did you wind up staying at the hotel?
I went in Tuesday, Christmas, and finally got the clearance to go back in Saturday to my place.
So what's that, a total of
5 days.
5 days?
Yes.
What do you think? I mean, how do you think that the relief effort, I guess for lack of a better word, has been here in Little Rock?
Relief? I haven't seen a relief effort. The only thing I would wish that between the power company and the city, they start taking better care of these trees, because that's our problem.
So what do you think could be done to alleviate this from happening again?
If they would take better care of the trees instead of trimming them just when this happened. I don't think they've done anything to the trees for 10 years now. And that's what brings the power down every time. It was one tree right outside my apartment complex that knocked out power to 4,500 homes.
That one tree.
That one tree.
That's unbelievable. And so I know that the power company's been getting some criticism because they chose to wait till all of the outlying areas were brought back on before they hit, the most populated part of the state.
Well, I don't know. There was a couple of problems. They have an issue now where when a tree has to be cut, they used to could just bring in the tree company and cut the tree and go to work. Now they have to get a clearance before the tree people can. And they were out there Wednesday night, and they couldn't actually start work until Thursday evening
Just because they didn't have clearance
to cut the tree. And the guys from the power company that was there, these outside contractors, they actually went and cut the tree themselves. And they started Thursday, and they had power only Friday night.
What about your family? Did any of your family and friends get affected by that?
My daughter lost power for one day, but that was all.
So were there a lot of people in the hotel? Did you notice there was a lot of people there?
It was crowded. They had a no vacancy sign the next morning, and they stayed there until I left.
And this was Christmas night?
Yes. Yes. Even the hotel was across the street. There was no vacancy sign there.
Unbelievable. So what do you think, aside from trimming the trees, it seems like this was a pretty, everybody knew this was coming. Now, whether or not they knew it was gonna be this bad, do you think that, you know, preparedness needs to change? Do you think where do you think the real heart of the problem lies?
Well, it was with the forecast on this one. Nobody took it serious. Even the guys from the power company, they didn't have outside contractors ready because they didn't think it was going to be that serious until Christmas Day when they saw it coming. And it was too late then.
And you're originally from Louisiana, so I mean, I imagine this is a bit different than how weather is down there.
Yeah, I'm not used to losing power from ice. I'm used to losing power from storms, water, you know. But you can't, you know, you can't predict what the water's going to do. You can't predict what the ice is going to do, but I think you could be a little more prepared for it up here. If you had underground or either you took better care of the trees.
So I had another question. I'm trying to remember what it was. So you live in a brand new built complex.
Yes?
Do you think that the apartment complex or should they have paid more attention to the trees around there?
Well, I mean, I think everyone that's concerned now should pay it. Even homeowners, you know, if the tree's on their property, and if it's over a line. I mean, there's a lot of downtime we're having because of tree problem. And I think everybody needs to pitch in a little bit.
How does this compare to other storms for you and how you've dealt with the weather here in Arkansas?
You just roll with the punches. Just take it as it comes. That's all you can do.
Well, and you've had quite a bit of experience with storms here, right?
Yeah, I've had my house tore up in a tornado. I got caught one time going to New Orleans in an ice storm right at Christmas. So I've had my share of it.
It's an unpredictable place, isn't it?
Yes, but I love it.
All right. Well, thank you.
All right.